Hey everybody. We are live with Kenneth Lively. He is traveling to some remote part of the world called Gary, Indiana. Not that far from Chicago. Most boring ride ever. So he got that look on his face because his partner from Gary. So he's been a good friend like Kenneth normally is. So if he has technical issues, which he has all the time, so it won't be nothing new.
I want to know why you telling my business. Hold on. Why you telling my business about where I'm going?
Please forgive him.
I told you where I was going. I ain't tell you to tell the world.
I keep, you know what's so great about it? You know what's so great about this, Kenneth? We don't have 0 viewers.
You know people gonna see this shit. What you doing in Gary? Why you in Gary? Who you went to Gary with? You always on the road somewhere. Tell my goddamn business.
People watching right now.
Oh, there's one watching.
Oh yeah, they came in after I said this. Don't say anything else.
Just tell all my goddamn business. Oh, you had to say, well, he's out of town.
Look. Nobody else is watching. Now you about to give away the house. Nobody else saw it. So I get a pass.
People gonna break in my goddamn house now. He ain't home. He out of town. Let's get the house.
Oh, boy,
come back, all my DJ equipment gone. Cause Leonard wanna run his mouth. Just like a Morehouse man. Always got some shit to say.
You still talking. You telling everybody your business. Now we back down to 1. So look, that one person from California gonna ride all the way down here and break in your house and steal your DJ equipment in an hour. You still here? You freezing again? So anyway, everybody, as we deal with these technical difficulties, and Kenneth's gonna have, I just want to hear what Kenneth has to say about the SAVE Act. Really, be honest with you, because they just announced something else about passports today, and less than half the African Americans in the country have passports. Less than half have passports. Hell, I gotta see if mine hasn't expired. Why you kidding? And they like $170, which essentially means they're trying to create another poll tax, which is illegal. And if they succeed, and they're pushing the SAVE Act right now because he knows he's in deep doo-doo. He in deep shit. And so what they're trying to do is, once again, use the Black community, the most vulnerable community, the African American community, to try to suppress the vote so that they can win. Now, if I remember correctly, Kenneth's under the impression that it'll never pass. I'm hoping he's right, because I'm hoping that there might be some Republican senators that say, shit, I don't know, no, we're not giving you that. But they haven't shown the kahunas to do that in anything else. Or, Kenneth, do you want to talk about Pam Biondi being fired? And the word today, as I jumped up on social media today, is he's gearing up to fire Kash Patel.
We can talk about both of them. Fuck both of them.
So are you?
Yeah, it should be locked up.
Yeah, they should be. But I keep telling you, they got that paper in their back pocket.
Okay.
For crimes they haven't admitted to committing in the past. Because she gonna try to, because she is not a dumb chick.
Well, I'll say this. She might not have a pardon. Now, she might have some shit on him.
Oh,
she ain't got no pardon. She definitely ain't got no pardon. But she probably got some shit. Because I'm sure she got the unredacted view of all the shit from the Epstein files. I am 99% sure she got the unredacted view and got copies of it. I know she does. So, to me, that's neither here nor there. Whether or not she gonna play that card is another story. Say what?
Marion said, Easter Lily, Easter Lily, Easter Lily, boys and girls, don't be so silly. My Easter speech.
I have no idea what he's talking about. That must be some old school Easter stuff they did in down in Macon back in the day. I've never heard of that before. But yeah, you the first thing you talk about the SAVE Act.
What?
I said the thing that you were talking about with the SAVE Act. The reason why I don't think Republicans are gonna go for it because they lose their constituency as well. It's not a situation where it's only going to affect people who are people of color, because that whole thing about passport thing. Think about the fact of that if a woman's driver's license doesn't match what's on her birth certificate, she can't vote. That part right there is the one that's going to knock out a lot of their constituents. You know, they might have their white males that can vote, but that'll knock out a lot of their constituents as well. And you can't have a hyphenated name. It has to be exactly what's on there. So that's the thing that I'm thinking is not going to allow it to pass. And the reason why it hasn't passed yet, because if it was such a slam dunk, they would have already done it. It's anything new. This legislation been sitting there for a while. They've been talking about it for like 2 months. And they have the majority in the House and the Senate. So if it was such of a slam dunk, they would have already done it. I just don't. They realize it finally comes to a. And it makes sense to me. If I'm going to lose half of my constituency by doing this vote to save Donald Trump, nah, fuck Donald Trump, because my goal is to still be to still stay in office, even after he leaves. I still have to get voted back in. If I vote for my half my constituency not being able to vote, that's stupid on my part. Because you just can't win with white males. That's bottom line. And they're sitting there trying their best. They want to win this election. This is not the way to do it. They're gonna have to actually come with some policy. And then Donald Trump and his war thing too. That's another thing. And also too, even if this does pass in the House and the Senate, and he signs it, it is going to be contested all the way up to the damn Supreme Court. And Supreme Court, there's no way in hell they're gonna support this shit, because it slaps in the face of the 14th Amendment, equal protection under the law. So you trying to tell me because I got married and I changed my name, I can't vote? But anybody who hasn't changed their name can vote? That's not equal protection under the law. And I hope you can hear me. Leonard.
We can hear you.
Oh, okay.
We hear you. I hear you.
But yeah.
I hear you. I can.
That slaps in the face of the 15th Amendment. And as we saw with birthright citizenship, the questions that the conservative judge was like, oh, I don't know about all this, man. You trying to tell us that, this is a slippery slope. We decide who's going to be a citizen when the 14th Amendment clearly says anybody born or naturalized is a citizen of the United States. It clearly says that. There's no wiggle room on that. No wiggle room at all. And Donald Trump can't wipe out the 14th Amendment just because he doesn't like the 14th. I mean, not the 14th Amendment. That's the it is the 14th Amendment. Yeah, he just can't wipe it out just because it's an amendment to the Constitution. You can't change the Constitution. You can't overturn an amendment. Everything the Supreme Court has overturned so far has been an amendment. Has not been an amendment. And if they go These people, the conservatives, are supposed to be strict constitutionalists, which means that if the Constitution says this, that's what we're going by. The reason why they were able to strike down, the reason why they were able to make abortion legal in this country was because of the 14th Amendment, the whole equal protection under law thing. I love that damn amendment. It could be used for so much shit. But anyway, the reason why was because of another amendment, the 10th Amendment, saying that anything that's not anything that's not mentioned in the Constitution is left up to the states. That's why they were able to overturn Roe versus Wade, because they do not mention abortion in the Constitution or in any amendments. So because they didn't do it, the Constitution says, and the 10th Amendment says, you have to states have to. It's left for states to decide whether or not they want to do it. It's a brilliant argument. That's actually one of the most brilliant arguments I've ever heard for in front of the Supreme Court. Not that I've heard a whole bunch of them, but that right there, nobody saw that coming. Whoever came up with that argument came up with a good one, because nobody saw that coming. You couldn't even prepare for that. But as I said, Trump's executive order does not override the 14th Amendment. It doesn't, because it explicitly says that. Now, if the Supreme Court says the 14th Amendment is not valid, that's something different. But I don't see them doing that. I don't see them doing it. Because at that point, now you've opened the door for a whole lot of stuff. And it's just when Trump leaves office, Democrats or whomever, the next president, can come back and do the exact same thing to other people. But the floor is yours, my brother.
I see. No, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. The person who came up with that, Kenneth, was a black woman named Polly Murray. She was actually a queer person, and she came up with that in her second year in school at Howard Law. And they didn't even tell her that's some crazy shit. They didn't even tell her that they used her argument to win what is essentially the
overturn abortion rights. Yeah.
But as you said, it applied to almost everything. It applied to abortion rights. It applied to Brown versus Board of Education. And Polly Murray, she was actually brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And but because there was so much misogyny back then, and she was queer, she didn't get the credit they gave her. And one of the bad things about Thurgood Marshall and what was his partners in the case, they didn't even tell her that they pulled up her paper from her sophomore year, because they didn't even tell her they used her argument. They didn't even tell her, which is crazy. Yeah, that's crazy how egos get involved.
Well, they don't necessarily need to tell her. I mean, it's a public argument. Whenever she wrote that opinion or wrote that argument, it was for a class, and she probably submitted it to something, a publication, and somebody read the publication.
She read it. She submitted it for a class assignment. It's a class.
Oh, okay. Well,
it's a class assignment.
Somebody heard it. Somebody was there.
Yeah, he knew about it. That's why he knew about it. Yeah, he knew about it. I forgot his name. The SAVE Act could be extremely dangerous for us. Why did the Supreme Court listen to Trump's request, Dr. Lively? The Fourth Amendment covers privacy, Dr. Lively. He said, why did the Supreme Court listen to Trump's request, Dr. Lively?
For what?
Naturalized citizenship.
But listen to his argument about what, though? I'm trying to figure out which. I read what he said. What argument? Which case?
I think what he's saying is if it's no way in hell that's going to be overturned, why would they even take up the request?
Because they got a bunch of ass. All you need, I think, you need 2 or 4. I think 2 to have a case move forward. I think that's what it is. At least if 2 justices say, "Yeah, okay, we want to hear this case," then it moves forward. I think it's 2. It's not a majority of them have to agree with it or agree to hear the case. So that's all it took. And you know which two it is. Alito and Thomas, the dumb twins.
Let's see. Supreme Court need to hear a case. 4. You got to have 4. It's 4.
Okay. So
the rule
you know the 4 is it's Alito, Thomas, probably Kavanaugh and Gorsuch.
Or Comey.
No, I don't think Comey. No, she's breaking with him too much. And Roberts is just trying to protect his legacy at this point.
Oh shit, that shit's toast.
Oh yeah. He's literally trying to protect his legacy. Knowing trying to prevent from being the worst court in the last 150 years.
Hey man, I got a question. I got a question I want you. What about Hegseth saying he didn't want any black generals? He stopped 2 promotions and he fired a black general yesterday. He fired one of the last remaining black generals yesterday. I think that Hegseth belongs to this church run by this pastor out of Moscow, Idaho. It's a very Christian nationalist church. Not only did he do that, yesterday they held a Protestant-only prayer service at the Pentagon. Let that sink in. They held a Protestant-only prayer service yesterday at the Pentagon, or Thursday at the Pentagon. So Catholics or anyone else could not come to that prayer service at the Pentagon. Hegseth belongs to this small church that's trying to have a series of churches whose pastor is headquartered in Moscow, Idaho, a town of 26,000 plus people, 98% white. And his views, if he's a theologian, I'm a theologian. Doug Wilson literally made me go look up what theologian meant. And if Doug Wilson's a theologian who gets to interpret the Bible, then we are all theologians. And his viewpoint is that women shouldn't work nor vote. And he tries to use biblical scripture to prove it. That women shouldn't have women working takes jobs from white men, and that they should have no leadership positions in the government or the church. And Pete Hegseth is a radical follower of him, and again, he does not believe that there should be any African Americans or women of color in any leadership positions in the military, particularly at the Pentagon. How he doesn't think, and Marion pointed this out to me yesterday, the 82nd Airborne, which is they've now, what do you call it, Kenneth, deployed. The 87th Airborne has a majority black battalion. I
didn't know that.
Yeah, Marion was telling. Marion's like, I was watching it yesterday. He's like, man, I looked at, I'm watching them march, and the majority of them are African American or people of color. How he doesn't think that that's going to demoralize the ranks is
he doesn't care. Let's be real. They doing shit that's detrimental to the military because they don't care. They doing shit that's detrimental to the country because they don't care. It's not about whether or not they think that it's going to hurt the military or help the military. They don't give a shit one way or the other. I mean, everything that he's done, that Hegseth and Trump has done in terms of military has fucked the military up. Let's be real. Not promoting people who are qualified, who've gone through the ranks and done everything that they've done and up for promotion, and everybody says, yeah, they good, they should be promoted, and you block their promotion, or you kick people out that are qualified, that know stuff, that know what's going on and all that. That type stuff is detrimental to the morale of the military, and he does not give a shit.
So what do you think the end game is then? What's the end game?
Make money.
Okay, at least we agree with that.
It's about money. Somehow they're making money off this shit. I don't know how, but somehow they make.
Oh, I know how they make
everything
money.
Everything that Donald Trump and his minions are doing is for them to make money. It has nothing to do with saving the country, making the country better. All that rhetoric they do is all about making money.
I've said
now,
that from
I don't know if they're say what?
I've said that from day one. I've said that every party, if you just do the numbers, and if you're just Elon Musk and you're worth $700 billion, you can afford to pay and give a good life to every Republican member in Congress and the Senate. And they will never make that type of money in their life. Ever.
Yeah.
And because it's the only thing that makes sense. It's literally the only thing that makes sense is if you take a regular person like you or I that does not have a strong constitution and they go up to DC and they already can't afford their apartment in DC because the money they're making is not that much. You got some members sleeping in their offices and you walk in and offer them $10 million or $5 million for what they think is an innocuous vote and it'll change their life. It's a whole bunch of them that take that shit. A whole bunch of them. Because they'll never make $5 million.
The issue with all of this is this. What I think is to make money through defense contractors, but the whole problem is this. Military, the most racist person in the military wants somebody that got their back when the shit hits the fan.
Right.
Makes sense, right? You don't give a shit if that person is purple. When the shit hit the fan, when bullets start flying or shrapnel starts blowing, when missiles are flying over and all this whole bunch of shit, you don't give a shit if that person sitting next to you is purple. Because you trying to get home. At least you should be thinking like that anyway. If you're not, there's something wrong with you. But I don't give a shit how racist, and I've met some racist people when I was in the military. And I met racist people when I was a cop too. But when the shit hit the fan, you don't give a shit who that person is. If they got your back, they got your back. So the whole thing about them kicking people out or doing whatever because quote unquote DEI or whatever the fuck reason bullshit reason they come up with now is bullshit. It's about making money. And those racists that's in there, they're gonna realize if they want those people out, they're gonna realize that the people that they can't rely on, they just can't rely on the people that look like them. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. So what he's doing is weakening the military. End goal for them to make money, maybe defense contractors or something. I don't know. Or maybe it's just to put their agenda of America being the big dog around the world, which we already were, and everybody bowing down to us, which pretty much everybody was before anyway. But now they don't. I mean, this whole thing with the Iran war, they shot down 2 airplanes yesterday. in one day. Shot down 2 in one day. But aircraft capabilities. There's no we done messed up everything, the air defense, all this stuff he keeps talking about. Trump keeps saying and Hexel keeps saying and they're lying their ass off. Because unless these people are shooting them down with handguns, they still got some military, they still got some equipment that y'all didn't know about. Or y'all were just lying all together. They said they have military defense.
Yeah, they say they got more than half of their missiles. And they obviously people are believing them because Lloyd's of London just started charging a $5 million premium to ensure any tankers going through the Straits of Hormuz. So they obviously they still got stuff. And they should.
Okay. And they said they've been preparing for this for years. This ain't nothing new. Like, see, y'all worried about nuclear weapons. We got conventional weapons that y'all ain't paid attention to. We don't need nuclear weapons. We good with what we got. Y'all the ones worried about nuclear weapons. You should have been worrying about all these damn drones we've been making that we perfected. You should have been worrying about the other the missiles that we got stored that y'all don't know shit about because y'all looking for nuclear weapons. We don't need a nuclear weapon. And we don't need to attack y'all. That's the other thing. See, they were worried about the Iran attacking the United States. And then think about they have access to all of our the access to, or they're close in close proximity to a lot of our allies. And we have military bases all over the Middle East. They don't need a nuclear weapon. They can get with conventional weapons and cause a lot of problems, which they have.
Yep, and realized that they had a missile that traveled over 2,000 kilometers. I don't know what they're thinking. Now they're hitting Dubai and Qatar. They've already, man. I don't know what could be done to such a incompetent defense secretary when the boss. And I'm wondering if they're starting to get to Trump right now and saying, you need to fire some of these people. For him to fire Bondi, it sounds like he's pivoting to me. Or if he's going to fire Bondi.
It doesn't matter. But that's the thing, though. It doesn't, firing people and you still got the same policy don't change. It does. The policy don't change. It doesn't make a difference. You're sitting here firing people like that's going to, because those are your point people. All the anger is directed at them. But once they leave and you still do the same shit, guess what? People still gonna be mad.
Yeah, you talking sense, though. You talking logical sense. There's been no logic.
I mean, right? There's no logic. There's no logic to his thinking. He has no. I don't know. To me, he's just doing shit just to be doing shit, just to disrupt everything. Because I really and truly believe he's trying to disrupt the entire. Our economy, which he has, so he can benefit from it coming back. Make everything hit rock bottom, and then he invests in it, and then when it starts going back up, when the next administration, he makes a hell of a profit. That's what I'm thinking is happening.
Yeah, you watching them manipulate the markets every day on Truth Social.
Oh yeah.
Every day he's manipulating the oil markets every day on Truth. Somebody's making money every time he makes a pronouncement. The question should be, as usual, is there any type of repercussions or punishment for it after the fact? Hexel says it's about the military ethos. Sergeant Lively, I'm sure you heard about the Golden BB. What's the Golden BB?
I have no idea.
He said
that's a BB gun that with golden BBs or something. I have no idea what that is.
He says, "Are you in England?"
No. Kind of does look like it though. Shit.
He trolling. He don't have nothing else to do this morning. Any other time he'd be
apparently not.
He'd be like, talk about Nicki Minaj. Wait, Kenneth. Christy Noam's husband.
Oh, being a cross dresser.
Look, man. There's some fetishes that I could go, okay. I can see somebody having a foot fetish. I get it. But want to put on big giant oversized boob fetish? That you go and buy a costume, like a whole for real costume? That's a pull that I just can't. You had to go. They sell that shit
Online, got an account and all this stuff. I'm like, man, y'all just don't understand. Y'all don't know how to do shit in private. Y'all just up there showing all your shit. Just showing all your shit. That shit is funny as hell. The whole matter of fact is, when Hillary Clinton, when she was running against him, she said Trump and his bunch of deplorables. How she was talking about how his supporters are deplorables. She wasn't lying. She wasn't lying. Those people are degenerates. Yeah. Remember?
No, she not.
I mean, how many of his people in MAGA supporters are getting caught up in this pedophilia type stuff? Having child porn and all this, soliciting children, all this shit. It's like so many of them get caught up like that. It's like, yo, and y'all the main ones talking about Democrats. But remember when they had that scandal talking about some pizza place? They had a secret basement in there where they would molested children and all that. Somebody shot up the place and all this shit. That was y'all were talking about child people. That wasn't the rest of us.
Look, I don't think they knew. You never could have convinced me that QAnon had any remote truth to it. Now I'm like, I don't know. It seems like it got more truth to it now. After you hear all
you just had the wrong people.
Yeah, you had the wrong people. All these white men and white Jewish men, and it's white men and white Jewish men. I don't give a damn nobody say. It's white men and white Protestant men and white Jewish men. Because the stuff, I had to look up something called Frankism. I told Marion to look it up. It's a Jewish, real radical Jewish philosopher's belief, and it's crazy. And but the stuff that they're, man, these are the people that are in charge of the greatest military in the history of the world, or we thought was the greatest military in the history of the world. We got the dumbest people up there right now, and they don't know what the hell. They just thought bombing people was going to work. So obviously they not the smartest. Golden Beep is a military term for a single, lucky, or random enemy shot that causes catastrophic damage. Are you saying that's what happened to those two jets yesterday? It's all right. It's a hell of a shot. It was two shots. It wasn't just one. And they're still missing a pilot. It was two shots. And those are, what, $300 million planes?
200 apiece?
And they sending out $50,000 drones? Man.
Now, $20,000 drones.
Man. This has not turned out the way they thought it was. So whoever was talking to him, whoever Hexep had guiding him or giving him the intelligence information about Iran, when I literally saw this former high-ranking military officer in the army saying, "You need 1 million troops to subdue Iran." He said, "That's pretty much all our troops." He said, "We had 150,000 in Iraq, and look how that turned out. And Iran is 4 times the size." What, man, to sit here and be having these conversations about these idiots is mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling that these are the people that have the keys to the car and hold the purse strings. And hold the purse strings. Just mind-boggling. And I don't know if you've been keeping up with the Iranian hackers. They hacked into Kash Patel's account, And the rumors they're putting out right now is that Charlie Kirk wasn't killed by a bullet. Charlie Kirk was killed by a miniature explosion in his microphone that malfunctioned. And that popped up yesterday. A guy, you know how Anonymous goes out and has those voices, and they talk about we hacked into the system. They're saying that plant that blew up in right outside of Nashville, Energy Solutions, and I looked it up, which was the crazy part. That's all they did was create explosives. Their expertise was explosives, and that's been the kickoff to all of this. Even though I don't want to believe Charlie Kirk is the kickoff to any goddamn thing. I don't know how that works, but this might makes right with no strategy is nuts. It's absolutely nuts. And PHXF is we don't have any way out of it but for the president to fire him, and he's not going to do that. We literally have no way out of it unless you know of one. 5,000, 6,000 helicopters were shot down in Vietnam. 2 planes are minuscule. The facts are 6 planes have been lost. So what are you saying? You saying that they had that many golden BBs? Marion, you saying they had that many golden BBs? I think they were way more prepared, like Kenneth said, than these knuckleheads thought. I think that, like Kenneth said, and I've seen a couple of guys say this on a couple of former generals say they've been preparing for this for 20 years. For 20 years, they've always prepared for the what if. They didn't throw away any. And what they said was all the initial volleys that they sent out were old missiles. Old missiles. Some of them didn't even work. The initial volley, which is old missiles. Now they're just getting into their new technology. Maybe that's what we're seeing right now.
Well, the biggest thing is, and I keep telling people this, I've been saying this for years, you can't defeat somebody who ain't got nothing to lose. You can't do it. It's impossible. Because the population, however many people they have in Iran, well, let's say this. When they were initially talking about regime change and doing all this stuff in Iran, the people were behind them. Some of the people were behind them. The minute they bombed that school, all that shit went out the door. All that shit changed. The minute they bombed that school and then hit it a second time, all the support the United States would have gotten within inside of Iran left because of that. You can't sit there and kill innocent people and then expect the people to be behind you. So they will not be greeted as liberators, as the United States always try to tell people. We'll be greeted as liberators and all this shit. That's just not gonna happen. Mainly because you killed innocent children. And that's not the only they've done. Now they bomb pharmaceutical facilities, hospitals, research centers, all this shit. They had medical research that has nothing to do with the military. They bomb those out. There's no way in hell you can justify that shit. But of course, he's trying to. But you're not going. That's why I said it's not going to end well. It's too many. They done pissed off the wrong people, the ones that would have supported them. They've pissed them off because they bombed the wrong places. That's it. That's it. You killed innocent people. And you won't ever get that support. You'll never get that support back. What you've created, same thing Israel keeps doing, create a whole new generation of people who hate you. That's what you've done. An entire new generation of people that hates the United States because of this shit. And we're going to be dealing with this for another generation. The least of our worries is whether or not Iran gets a nuclear weapon. And I'm still tripping off the fact the United States is talking about Iran shouldn't have them, but the only country that ever used a nuclear weapon and done it twice was the United States. We're the only one that ever used it. Nobody's ever used it. And we have an unstable leader.
Boy, that's that
the man is suffering from something. So what?
I said, that's that white logic. On 10/7/20, killed 12,000 Jews.
That's 1,200. Okay. Iran. But hold on.
I'm tired of that argument. And not
that argument doesn't hold water anymore, man. That whole thing right there.
50,000 people probably way more than that. And you decimated a whole area. The rate of what's the rate of return? What's the rate of I don't think you're gonna buy that type of something. The mountain doesn't respond to the wind. So I'm not comfortable with that argument.
And that's the argument that they use. Iran does this and Iran does that. Okay. But what have you done? What have they done? That's my argument. You continue to talk about what Iran has done and their sponsored terrorism. We've done the exact same thing here in the United States. The United States don't have clean hands. I don't give a damn what nobody says. Our hands are just as dirty as everybody else's.
Look,
if not more.
We're doing extrajudicial killings in the Caribbean. We don't know who's on those boats.
Right.
We don't have who's on those boats. We don't have a clue who's on those boats. And you can't believe anything that Pete Hegseth and his top people say. Their word has no credibility. I just had this huge debate with Kenneth the other day with my younger brother, and he was like, "There's no comparison to the Iranian regime and the Trump campaign." And I was like, "Brian, that's just not true. They one and the same. They one and the same. They use killings to enact psychological terrorism. That's what the killings of Good and Presti did. It's you just didn't kill 2,000 people, but the goal was the same: to make people not dissent, show public dissent.
Yeah.
That's all the goal was: just make people not show public
and
dissent.
That's always been the goal and always will be the goal. They just want to run things. Hold on once. Oh, don't hold on. Let me just put some in the trash can. But anyway, yeah, everything that they're doing is just as bad as what the Iranians are doing, and it's causing more problems. Evil is evil. I don't give a damn who does it. It's still evil. Don't matter who initiates it. Evil is evil. And we need to get away from this whole narrative of the United States is always right in everything that we do. Because a lot of the shit that we get involved in is because we started the shit. We initiated it. And now we have to react to the shit that we initiated. That's part of the problem. Oh, shit.
And nobody would be pursuing nuclear weapons if they realized that nuclear weapons was the only thing.
What were you saying?
They're pursuing nuclear weapons. I said they're pursuing nuclear weapons because that's the only thing that deters the bullies. And that's why North Korea won't give up their nuclear weapons. And that's why Saddam Hussein that's why Muammar Gaddafi was trying to get a nuclear weapon. Because, like you said, the United States is not always right. They just want to be bullies. They just want to dominate and control. And that comes from a purely white perspective. That doesn't mean there's not evil people in the world who are people of color. But that's one of the reasons why Kim Jong-un will not give up his nuclear weapons. He will starve 1 million people before he'll give up those nuclear weapons. Because they don't trust him. Why should they trust him?
Oh, hell yeah.
What you did to Ukraine. Ukraine gave up their nuclear weapons in exchange for security guarantees. And damn, Putin invaded.
And they don't have security guarantees. Yeah.
Security guarantees. So if they had a nuclear weapon, he would have thought about invading Ukraine, and they had hundreds of them, and they gave them up. Why would anybody of color, if nobody of color would trust in hell? What was that? Greenland was gearing up for a war because they don't even trust them. So I don't know how you reconcile. 20,000 Americans were killed in Pearl Harbor, and boy, you got to be a motherfucker to drop a bomb that'll incinerate 100,000 people all at once.
Twice. Did it twice.
Twice in 7 days. The Twin Towers brought down some 3,000 killed. Was the U.S. right to bomb the shit out of Afghanistan? No. I've never believed the U.S. had a right to bomb Afghanistan. Never. And now that all the intelligence comes out and says that, 10 of the 11 911 people were Saudi Arabian? Why are we going into Afghanistan? That doesn't make sense. You're on mute, Kenneth. That makes zero sense. I
know I was on mute.
Oh, well, shit, we didn't know. Can't might read your goddamn mind, bro. So no, I don't think we should have went in Afghanistan. I don't even think that's why we went into Afghanistan. I've always maintained that the reason we went into Afghanistan was to control the cultivation of the poppy seed. I've never wavered from that. I don't believe any of that stuff that people are saying that it was for this. No, it's to control the cultivation of the poppy seed, which leads to heroin worldwide. Period. That's the only resource they have. The most pure poppy seeds on the planet. That's it.
I said the same thing. I actually told my students that a few weeks ago. That's the reason why we went to Afghanistan. I was like, if all majority of the hijackers are from Saudi Arabia, and we going in there to get back at the people who did 9/11, why are we going in Afghanistan? One has nothing to do with the other. The Taliban have been there for years. They didn't change who they were. So why is it a big deal now? That was one of the things I said. It's because they wanted to control the heroin trade.
That's it. Oh, I don't believe none of that other stuff. None of that. Now, what came of that, and what all the military decisions came of that, and who were evil, who wasn't? Hey, man, that's a whole nother story. But why we went over there, I have not a damn thing to do with 911. Nope. Halliburton, them, nope. Let me control them poppy seeds, the heroin cultivation. That's a lot of goddamn. That's another $100 billion industry because you use it for so many things, from medicine to illicit drug activities. So I've never believed that. More Japanese were killed by the firebomb at Tokyo than Nagasaki and Hiroshima. Yes, there were. But every general, I've looked this up before. Every general on the quote unquote Joint Chiefs of Staffs at the time told Truman, do not drop that bomb. They did not want to be history. But you know who did tell Truman?
There's no going back from that. Once you do it, there's no going. And he did it twice. Because
guess who told him to do it? Guess who was the one pushing it? Senator Russell from Georgia.
Oh,
Senator Russell from Georgia. Is it Russell? Is it Russell from Georgia? What is it?
What you call it? Yeah, something Russell building. Yeah.
Senator Russell from Georgia was pushing him to drop that bomb, saying they were just Japs.
And also, too, they were saying that the other part of it is they said they didn't want to invade Japan because if they invaded Japan, we would have sustained heavy losses.
Yes.
That's the reason why they didn't invade Japan. Because the
Japanese only asked for one thing. The unconditional surrender was they asked for one thing from the unconditional surrender. Do not get rid of the emperor. That's it. They didn't want to get rid of
They did not get rid of what?
The emperor. They wanted it to be an
emperor.
government. That's it. That's all they were asking. And they told him no.
And that's all they kept. Yeah, that's the only thing they kept. They gave up their entire military. Matter of fact, the Japanese didn't want to participate in the Korean War and the Vietnam War because they said, no, we ain't fight no more. They gave up their entire military. Said, we're going to keep our military just for defense purposes. We are not going in anybody's war. Y'all can have that over there. We ain't doing this shit. They were demoralized as a people, for real. But yet and still, we... Say what?
Marion said it wasn't Senator Russell. Hold on. Senator Russell. First. I'm going to give you the name for Atomic Bomb. Let me give you the name. Go ahead, Kenneth. Go ahead.
But it doesn't make a difference who the senator was. We did it. And we should own it. And we should never use it again. That is a deterrent. We haven't attacked Russia.
He served from 1933 to 1971. Russell served from 1933 to 1971. He was a senator. He was a senator from Georgia. 1933 to 1971. He was there for damn near 40 years. Richard B. Russell.
Yeah, Richard B. Russell. But yeah, man, we Kenneth and his followers, they made a huge mistake, and too many regular people are gonna pay for it. I feel bad for that pilot, but hopefully, whoever captured it, somebody found him. They taking care of it, just hiding it. That may be the case, because if they haven't found him yet, either he's hiding very well, or somebody's hiding him, or her. You know, shouldn't say him; it could be a her, because they haven't said who the pilot is yet.
I guess Marion's saying, "Hey, man, it was a lucky shot." I think what it says is we're getting a clear idea of why people are not. They don't want to get involved anyway because Trump's treating them so badly, but they don't truly know the capabilities of Iran. They aren't putting any ships through that Strait of Hormuz, and then they're talking about the Houthis talking about closing off the other waterway because they don't truly know. None of them believe anything that the Trump administration says. So there's no because the tanker themselves cost $200 million, not the oil, just the tankers. And they don't know who they trust, so they aren't going to take it. It's the fact that they keep doubt out there means Iran is winning. That's the fact. Look, they're literally about to shut down energy in the rest of the world. It's what 30% or 20% come through. So they followed Netanyahu into this war, and everybody knows it. Everybody knows this was a Netanyahu operation, a Kushner operation. And they just don't know what the hell they're talking about. They think they just can kill their way into dominance. And obviously that's not proven true. They're just going to do whatever they got to do to kill their way into dominance. Hey, man, on a quick note, because I know you got something to say about this, what you think about Nick Cannon?
Fucking idiot. But we don't do that. You know, all the stuff he did with the baby and all that, Kent don't even know children's names and all that shit. Fuck it. He's having to be talented at whatever he did. I don't know how the hell he became so famous. But he has talent, and we shouldn't even be giving him any motherfucking first of all, never give him another goddamn dime. Never watch any of his fucking shows. He's on The Masked Singer. Don't ever look at that shit again. Wild and Out. Don't ever watch that shit again. Not even the fucking reruns. He shouldn't get no money from that shit. Anything that he does, he has his hand in, we should know about and not support. Because, you know, you're going to sit here. And you know something that's always funny? How they all, like the stuff he said about, you know, the Democratic Party was a party of KKK. And it's like, you just don't know the history. You read half a book and don't read the whole book, and you come up like, you remember, what's that, in Living Color? When the guy who was in prison and learned a few things and just started using the words in the wrong context and all that shit. That's what Nick Cannon sounds like. That's what he sounds like. He got a little bit of knowledge. Say what? I can hear you. What'd you say? I didn't hear you. That's what he sounds like. Yeah, that character, yeah. You know, learn a few words and use the shit in the wrong context. Don't even know what the fuck you're talking about and sounds stupid. That's what Nick Cannon sounds like. That's literally, that's his character. That's the character right there. Anybody that studied a half a bit of history would know that shit is a totally different thing. You ain't even got to go back that far.
You gotta do is Google it.
That's just like them same people who talk about, you know, the black people on the Democratic plantation. What the fuck, who plantation you on? You going with a party that's detrimental to your people who look like you. That's who the fuck you damn you kissing their ass, sucking on their teeth. People who are detrimental to your community, who don't care about you or your family, except to use you. That's who you support. But you sitting here telling the rest of us that we shouldn't support the Democratic Party, when at least they're trying. At least they're trying. It's not two birds of the same, two wings of the same bird. That analogy is stupid as fuck. You're a fucking idiot if you think that shit that they do the exact same thing. No, because two wings of the same bird means that they do the exact same thing, and that shit does not happen like that. So either you don't fucking read or you don't understand shit. You just taking shit rhetoric and just running with it. I ain't got no respect for nobody who says shit like that. None whatsoever. Because that shows you like a lack of understanding, a lack of critical thinking and all that.
With that type of
that is a lack of critical thinking skills, period. I don't give a fuck how smart you think you are.
Yeah. Hadn't picked.
But that's, you know,
yeah,
right. That's who we are. Or pick up a book with somebody who aligns with your thought process, or take something that somebody says out of context. You know, take that shit out of context. Talk about, like, bring up the boys and don't know the evolution of the boy's life, and then try to apply something that the boy said 100-something years ago to what's going on now. No, man, that shit don't work. That's disingenuous. Totally disingenuous. But that's what we got now.
Right. And
Keyboard warriors and keyboard scholars get fed the same nonsense. Shit like that pissed me off, man. Read for real. Stop just looking at the algorithm. Read the fucking book. Or if you read some shit, do some research behind it. Don't just read the shit, that 300-word article and let it go. Read this. Do some more research. Make that shit go down the fucking rabbit hole. Every once in a while, you need to go down a rabbit hole and find out what's down there. Don't just take shit at face value.
And Mary said those people are entertainers. That's what makes it even more insidious, though, is that the entertainers have these huge platforms, and you're hurting the body politic of the African American community. But you made all your money off African American culture. That you can go and say like that. And you got 13 kids, when all of us who got 2 kids, all of us men who have 2 kids and tried to be decent fathers, know damn well it's hard enough to give 2 kids enough time, much less 13. and you don't give a damn when you want to get out here
and they live in they live in different parts of the country.
Right. You want to come out here and talk about something, have the audacity to even mention something of such importance that will affect your 13 kids who you don't have enough time for. You and Cam, you don't have enough time for them. It's going to affect, the policy will affect your kids, and you don't have enough time for them to help guide them through it. And shut the fuck up. Just shut up. Like Roland said, man, just shut up. Just be quiet. Just be quiet. You know, and it does what it's meant to do, which is distract our community from all these problems, all these issues we really need to be taken care of, or they keep us under an avalanche of issues. Or they do a good job of that.
Yeah. Just keep talking about it. Shit.
Yeah.
Just keep putting.
Right. So
you don't ever hear white entertainers coming out and saying stupid shit like that. That white people are on the Republican plantation. You never hear them saying no shit like that. But you want to throw that out against against black people. Throw that shit out there. Never talk about how the Republican Party and MAGA specifically is dogging out poor white people. Never call that shit out. Never says anything about that. I'm seeing my first motherfucking windmill. I've never seen one of them up close. That's cool.
Oh, you mean the big windmills?
The
big giant ones?
Yeah.
The big.
I've never seen one of them.
Those are huge. You ought to see the trucks that have to transport the blades. That's amazing. The ones that have to pull the blades down the freeway. That's amazing, and not damaging. So, yeah, Kid Rock does say a lot, but Kid Rock says a lot of racist stuff. So, but it is what it is.
And Kid Rock made his money off black people too.
Yeah, as usual. So look, we had 11:02. I got something I got to go do. Kenneth's driving. I appreciate him even coming on and letting us keep him awake. Him and his partner.
You don't know how true that shit is. We've been traveling all night. We literally been traveling all night.
Yeah. You, Gary, Indiana.
So,
where are you? Yeah. Where you going? Yeah.
See, once again, you put my business out there. Put my business out there. I ain't tell you to tell nobody where I was.
I did tell you. I did do it that time. You did it earlier.
No. You the one that put it out there.
I didn't have an audience. It was nobody watching us. You came on.
Now you've been intentional about this, about putting my business out there.
No, if I was being intentional about putting out that, I'd just come out and say, I'm gonna tell everybody where this motherfucker going. That's what I would do. Don't get it twisted.
You just said it.
No, but it wasn't intentional with a malicious intent. It was just me having a conversation.
Whether it was malicious or not, it was intentional. They literally I have never seen damn windmill farm. They got some big ass windmills just all out here. I bet.
Yeah.
Now, does that help the help electric prices out here? That's the other question. I'm just curious. I'll let you put one in my goddamn backyard.
Mary said everybody can see the U-Haul. What U-Haul? I didn't see
what U-Haul?
What U-Haul?
I ain't in no damn U-Haul. I ain't moving no damn where. I'm on spring break. I'm trying to enjoy my spring break.
Well, you do that. We're about to let you go. Take us out. You enjoy your. Tell your partner we say hello, y'all, and you enjoy your spring break.
He said deuces. Y'all have a good week. I'm gonna have a good week because I'm on spring break. And those of you who saw my video yesterday of me skipping in the hallway, I was skipping because it was a last day and half the students weren't even at school. That's why I was skipping. And I still know how to skip.
What'd you say about porn yesterday?
Oh, no, that wasn't the other. Okay, I had one teacher who was going to record me skipping. and she started the video before I was ready. But another one was recording. I said, "Don't be putting my video on no porn site."
Oh Lord.
That's what I was talking about.
I was like,
That's what I was talking about.
I'm like, where did look? I turned it.
But see, the other one, nobody told her to start recording to begin with. She gonna start recording like Mr. Lively. I'm recording. Who told you to start recording? People still walking down the hallway. Let them go where they go, and then we'll start. People always want to start shit before it's supposed to begin. But the key thing is, I still know how to skip.
None of us
can. Y'all do that?
Anyway, the man said deuces. Yeah, that's what we're gonna try. We're gonna, cause you're getting grouchy. You're turn 16, getting grouchy. You want everything just the way you want it. Don't do that. Don't do this. Hey man, give me 2 pinches of salt, not 3. you getting grouchy.
That's right. I've earned that right.
You getting grouchy. All right, grouchy old man, take us out.
All right, y'all. Hey, y'all have a good week. Be safe. Stay out of trouble. And those of y'all in Augusta, hold it down until I get back. Doses.
All right. Y'all have a good day. Drive safely, Kenneth. Y'all drive safe.
Oh, hey, one more thing. I just thought about something. We ain't talking about South Carolina beating UConn last night.
Hey man, look. Don't get me started.
The aftermath of that shit.
You about to piss me off.
That's
I had to work out the day thinking about that shit. And I was pissed. And I was like, only a white man would approach a black woman like that. Because Dan Hurley from UConn, the men's team, berates the refs all day in the game. He berates them after he berates them.
Every coach does that.
Not like Dan Hurley. Go back and look at some of Dan Hurley stuff. Dan Hurley stuff is, and for Gino to get on there and talk about that because they got beat, bro. Come on. She just out-strategized.
Refs ain't got nothing to do with your team shooting 31% from the field. Ain't got nothing to do with it. 1-3 in the whole game, or a couple of that, or 1-3 all the way up into the fourth quarter. That ain't got nothing to do with the refs.
I thought her strategy was, we're gonna play like the Detroit Pistons. We're gonna rough them up a little bit. They're a pretty team. They play, they flow, they do this, they do that, they shoot. People give them open lanes, but we're gonna bump them. We're gonna frustrate them and bump them. And I thought it was a brilliant strategy because you don't lose by 14 points.
It was
14 points. Come on, man.
That's about right.
Yeah, 62 to 48. Lost by 14 points. Come on, man. Come on. You didn't have to act like that at the game. Not the way you were acting. You saw what she said, right? They reported what she said today. She got Philly on her. She said, "I kick Gino's ass." That's what she said. That's what she was telling her damn assistant.
Well, you can read her listen. You can read her listen and see what she said.
Yeah, because she was surprised. He caught her off guard. You know, when he walked up to her, you could see she was like genuinely surprised, like, what the hell is going on? And you talking about a handshake in the pre lineup handshake? That's what you bring up at the end of the
She
game?
came and shook your hand. Oh, she made me wait for 3 minutes. Really?
Man, stop. Man, stop.
If that was the case, then why didn't you say something when she walked up and shook your hand? If that was the issue for you, say it then. Don't wait till after the game and try to come up manufacture some excuses about why you acted the way you acted.
But Kenneth, let's just do on a basic level. You don't approach no woman like that. You don't approach that. Not you hit me or you want to approach me or you or your partner. That's one thing. You know, we men, but you don't approach no woman aggressively like that. No, you don't. Not on national television. You don't. He was dead ass wrong. You don't approach her like that.
And not then when people got to pull you away from her.
Right,
the refs got to step in.
Yeah,
that's telling you that's it right there.
Right. You did that because you figured you could get away with it. That's the only reason why. And that's what a lot of white men do with black women. You do that shit because you figure you can get away with it. You do that because you don't approach no female coach like that. I've never seen a man approach the LSU coach like that. You don't do that. He was dead ass wrong. He thought he was gonna coast to another goddamn undefeated season and national championship.
Mm-hmm.
You won it last. Nobody was expecting you to win it. What's the problem? Yeah. So, but anyway, yeah. All right, bro. Let me get out of here.
All right, man. Have fun.
All right. Peace. Bye, y'all.
Talk to you. Deuces.